Wow! Hello everyone, and happy Valentine's Day, as it's Valentine's Day as I record this video, February the 14th, 2021. And today, I thought I should give you guys the full-on layout tour, which I have promised a handful of you for a couple months now. Sorry it's taken a little longer than I expected, but things just got a little busy, and it's always better late than never, right? So this video today will just feature the full-on layout tour on my N-scale train layout. I will take you around, show you guys each section and everything there is to see. And just for a fresh reminder for what I got, I mostly just have two main towns with the main line looping around in a oval. This is a first town. The second town is right here. The two towns are connected by a fine little interchange in a rural farmland type area. And then finally towards the end of the second town, I got one last spur branching off to service this industrial lot. So nothing really all too fancy on my layout, but I say it's enough for me. So I guess without any further ado, guess I should take you guys all around. Also got a couple of freight trains running for this video. First up on the outer main line, this is a Kansas City Southern Tier 4 from Scale trains pulling a short freight on the outer track. And then on the inner loop, I got a pair of Burlington Northern GP39s from Atlas. And I think these two are super cool. The Burlington Northerns. Okay. So without any further ado, I guess it's time to take you guys through each section starting now. So when you go into my town, you go over the triple track mainline crossing right at the front at the start. And first scene I have is a local Domino's Pizza restaurant, which was a kit I purchased from Summit USA back in 2017. The Domino's Pizza. And then across the street, I have a fairly new little fish and chips restaurant scene. This was a cardstock kit I purchased off of eBay last December. You see I got the big fish and chips sign right there. I got a little drive-through or drive-in. I got a couple of figures, the sign. Here's this side of the restaurant. Also a little bit of parking for the fish and chips. And right next to the main line crossing, I also have one last cool little scene of some railway crewmen testing out the signal, since you always see that in real life for the crossing. So there was that. And next scene I have to show you is in this big lot here, I have a fine little construction scene. And basically to the viewer's eye, this will just be a new residential street with new homes going up, being built, because you always see that in real life. So basically I got the base to one house here with a couple men working on it. A couple houses being worked on right here. I got some figures, some lumber, a couple trailers or tractors. And yeah, also quite a bit of skids throughout. So here was my construction scene. Nothing really all too fancy there, but I say it was a pretty decent start. And then after the construction scene at this intersection, you could follow this road into downtown, where the road kind of loops all the way around. But before that, I think I will first take you this way and over to this corner here. So on this side, I have a fine little factory scene, which I think looks pretty cool, with a couple trailers, a couple trucks, some figures, some men working, and a bunch of skids. I think this factory scene here looks pretty cool. And across the street from the factory, right next to the new residential street, I have a fine little church scene right here with the church parking lot. Here's my church scene for the layout. And then in this corner here, I have a fine little gravel parking lot to the baseball diamond. And I also have a couple figures on the field. I got some kids playing ball. Like we got the pitcher, the batter, the catcher, a couple infielders, and some dude on third getting ready to score. There was my baseball scene, which I think looked pretty cool. And then next we go over the overpass leaving this town And on this side here, I basically just got the start of a residential subdivision. So basically, if the layout continued this way, it would all be residential streets because you always see residential subdivisions in real life. So here's the idea to the start of a large residential subdivision. I also have a fine little apartment scene here, which I named Rosebud Apartments from the Schitt's Creek Netflix show. This fine little 6-story apartment building. Here's the apartment parking lot. Still got yet to add the the door leading into the apartment building, which I named Rosebud. And then finally, I got one last spur I'm sure you'd be able to notice branching off the main over there to service this small little factory right here. We got the spur track going in. No rail car spotted there at the moment, but for the fine factory, I once again got a truck, some skids, some men working in a trailer for this cool small little factory scene here. And of course the 2-lane industrial crossing. So there was that. And I believe with that, I just showed everything there was in the first corner of my layout. So now I guess I'll take you guys back to this intersection and we'll follow this road into downtown. So when we drive along this road, we have a fine little intersection crossing first off for the interchange spur. I've always been super pleased with this crossing here. I always thought it came out pretty nice. I always thought that was a pretty cool scene with the intersection crossing. And if you were to make a left-hand turn, first we have a fine little car auto repair shop facility. Like you see, I got the building there with the tow truck, a couple figures. The fine little car auto repair shop facility first in this lot here. And then next to the car auto repair shop, I have a fine little Burger King restaurant kit scene. And this was a very old Lifelike kit back from the 1980s for the Burger King. I'll show you the other side of Burger King in this lot here. Yep. Burger King. So there was that. And next up, if you were to follow this small little road here, first on this side of the road, I have a couple downtown buildings, including the fire department, the local fire department. And then on this side of the road, I have a fine little Rob's Roadhouse restaurant/bar scene with a pretty cool little parking lot for Rob's Roadhouse. The interchange spur once again. And then next up, when you follow this road, here is a modern day Shell gas station restaurant kit scene, which was another kit I purchased from Summit USA in 2017. The Shell gas station. And this has always been one of my favorite scenes on the entire layout. Like we got the Shell logo, all those little details down at the gas pumps. I've always been super pleased with this scene here for the Shell gas station. Yep. I always thought that was a super cool scene. And next up, after you go over the interchange spur, I have one last little plaza here. Kind of like a fast food plaza where I have a Dairy Queen and then Taco Bell. I have 2 fast food restaurants. This was also from Summit USA, the Taco Bell, and the Dairy Queen came from Walther's. A little bit of fast food. And then finally, one last little Tim Hortons coffee shop right here, since Tim Hortons is a very popular coffee company or coffee fast food restaurant where I am in Ontario for the Tim Hortons. And then finally, the last scene I have in this town here in this corner, I added a fine little comic book shop which I named Gotham Central. Yep, a fine little comics and collectibles shop here, which I thought looks pretty cool. The Gotham Central. Okay. Also have the water tower. But with that, I believe I officially showed you guys everything there was to see in this first town here for all the scenes that I had. And now, if you were to leave town, you follow this road. First, I have a fine little road bridge here, the only water scene I have, with some canoers. I also have a couple people fishing off the road bridge. One more set of canoers. Here was the water scene. And then next when we go through the rural farmland type village, I guess. First scene I have is a little camping trailer scene. In this lot here, this is a camping trailer. And then I have a Pizza Hut, which was also a cardstock kit I purchased off of eBay sometime last fall, the Pizza Hut restaurant kit. And I have a fine little old-fashioned train station in this lot here. I also put made it into a hobby shop, so basically in my world, people could also buy their model trains from here. The Depot Hobby Shop. And then finally, the last scene I have is a fine little property scene in this lot here with some very nice green grass. I got some dude working on his grass right there. Looks like his wife and their dog doing something else on the grass. And yep, the very nice property scene. And now we're moving into the next town. So with that, guess I should stop the trains here quickly. And then I'll run the trains next in this town here. So here I have a Canadian National train with a couple more scale train tier 4s. The lead unit is the one with the CN100 logo. Yep. Here's what I got to pull the train around to my next town. And with that, guess it's time I ought to get back to the actual layout tour. So after the Pizza Hut, when you go over the double-track mainline crossing to get into town, first we have a little Ultramar gas station, which I custom made myself some years back. And then over here, I mostly just got many various downtown buildings down here. I also have a couple spur lines, like branching off the main line here. I have one spur line going through the downtown buildings to service a fine little fuel storage tank. And then on this side of the town, I also have one last spur line branching off the main to service this business here. They get boxcars, the industrial crossing. So yeah, here are my downtown buildings. I also added a little Starbucks right here. And here are just a few more downtown buildings. The road leaving town. So there was that. And now on this side of the road, first I have a fine little McDonald's restaurant here, which I custom made maybe in 2018. I got a McDonald's fast food. And then in this lot here, I have the parking lot to a GO train station. Here's the building. Definitely not all too fancy, but it's enough for me. I'm sure I'll look to work on it even a little more eventually, but here's basically the parking lot of the GO train station. Here are the station platforms for the station platform for the train station. And then finally on this side of the building, I also have a fine little bus terminal, since you always see these where I am in Ontario next to the train station. I have a fine little bus stop. Definitely not all too fancy. Gotta get some better signs and stuff eventually for the bus station, but here's what it is for now. I hope to eventually get some GO buses also if they ever make GO buses, if they ever get made. But here's the idea to a little bus stop right next to on the other side of the train station. And then finally, in this last little lot here, I have one last little plaza. First I have a Harvey's Swiss Chalet fast food restaurant. And then I got a Subway restaurant right here. And then finally, these last two buildings are the Metro/Canadian Tire, who both are some pretty big retail companies where I am in Ontario. The Metro/Canadian Tire. Also got this pretty cool little Canadian Tire trailer at the side of the store. I got some figures walking around on the pavement. Plus the coaster I got parked on the main. Maybe I could give it a little spin also. The San Diego coaster. Even though I live in Ontario, this is still a pretty cool scheme, I think. Yep. And then finally, now it's time to get on to the last actual portion of my layout, which is the industrial lot. So I got the spur branching off here. The road also follows down into the industrial lot. And basically, if you follow the spur track, I just got many various rail customers in here. Like here's a local plastic plant, which I named DMX Plastics Limited. These guys get cover topper loads of plastic pellets. I have another Confederation Freezers business. They got a lone boxcar spotted on their spur. I also have the RBW printing company business with another boxcar. Here's RBW. And if you follow this 2-lane industrial road, we finally have one more double-tracked industrial spur line crossing to service this business here, which I named Polar Pack. They get cover toppers. Then finally one more tanker car business down there, which I named Amazingly Green. Okay, so with that, I believe I now officially showed you guys absolutely everything there is to see for now on my N-scale model train layout. And I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Wait, one last scene right next to the spur line also got a YMCA rec center. And I believe that's the last scene I had to show. So with that, I believe I showed you guys now everything there was to see. And I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Any questions, please feel free to ask. I definitely will get back to you, and yeah. So hope you enjoyed this video, and take care everyone. Stay safe. Peace. I'll show you guys the CN train one last time, I think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.